Welcome back. For this week's Vibrant Living segment, I'm joined by Kelly and Caroline from our sponsors at Woods Oviatt Gilman with details on how they're protecting our community's elders. Welcome, ladies. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
I'd like you to start off by telling us a little bit about your backgrounds in law.
Well, Caroline and I are attorneys with Woods Oviatt Gilman, which is a full-service law firm located in Buffalo, with additional offices in Rochester and Albany. And actually, our Trust and Estates practice group is one of the largest in upstate New York. We do a lot of estate planning, estate administration, elder law, and more.
Well, you mentioned it, but why would someone need to call an estate planning or elder law attorney?
Well, everyone needs an estate plan. It is not just wills. It's a common misconception it's just having a will or it's only for the wealthy. We offer comprehensive estate planning that includes a will, but also provides for the ability to have tools such as a healthcare proxy and power of attorney that allow for more autonomous living. And then it also includes for asset protection against nursing home costs and tax liability.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you explain what you mean by honoring your wishes and autonomy for living?
Absolutely. So people are very familiar with healthcare proxy forms where you name someone to honor your wishes if you're unable to speak for yourself with medical treatments and decision making. However, a power of attorney is used in the same manner for your financial affairs. So it allows for the ability to help you with your wishes and autonomy. In the most common ways it's used is for banking, investment transactions, real estate transactions, and tax matters.
Alrighty. Is a power of attorney necessary for a couple who has joint assets?
Yes, absolutely. Not every asset can be made joint. So in that regards, things like retirement accounts that are 401ks and IRAs, you cannot make joint. So you need a power of attorney for even your spouse to be able to handle those accounts on your behalf if you're unable to. The alternative is very costly, both in time and resources, to the tune of thousands of dollars and months of time to be able to even have your spouse be named a guardian on your behalf if you don't have that tool.
Yep. Well, speaking of tools, can you give us an example of when someone had an estate planning tool but didn't know how to use it?
Absolutely. So we often counsel adult children of a parent that was signed into a nursing home by their adult child, signing their admissions agreement, but they signed as themselves personally instead of as the power of attorney agent, even though their parent had that tool. That unfortunately incurs personal liability on that adult child. If you had used the tool, you would not incur that liability. And when in Erie County, the average nursing home cost is $150,000 a year, that's a tremendous liability risk.
Right. How do you assist families with protecting assets from exorbitant costs like that?
Well, as Caroline points out, it can be very expensive and can completely upend your estate plan. So a lot of what we do is counsel clients on the process of becoming eligible for additional insurance coverage. And when you don't have long-term care insurance, which so few do, Medicaid is really the insurance coverage that you can get to provide for this type of care. And that could be care at home. A lot of people have aides at home, or it could be care in a nursing home.
Let's talk about the 5-year look back for Medicaid. Is it too late to save money?
It's actually not too late, and some people do plan in advance, and there are specific rules what you can and can't do with your assets, but some will plan in advance by making gifts or by creating a trust. But even if you've done no prior planning and you need this type of care, there's a lot you can do to make somebody eligible for coverage by strategically transferring assets in order to qualify. Additionally, there are some assets that are considered exempt. For example, many people are surprised to learn that retirement accounts don't count towards somebody's eligibility for coverage.
What about nursing homes that don't accept Medicaid?
So it's actually a common misconception. All nursing homes do accept Medicaid. That being said, you might have to privately pay for a period of time to get into a preferred nursing home, but Medicaid should at least be part of the equation. The worst thing you can do is just assume that it's too late and simply spend all of your money on your care. So basically what we say is if there's a spouse at home, there's different strategies that we can use to protect all of the assets. And if there's not a spouse, we can still protect over half, plus all of those exempt assets as well.
How often should people be reviewing or updating their estate plan?
We generally advise with life transitions or major life events such as getting married, having a baby, getting divorced, death of a spouse, or a diagnosis of a major illness with you or your spouse. But beyond that, it's an average of 3 to 5 years to make sure your estate plan matches your wishes and your needs.
It sounds like obviously this is a hard topic for a lot of families, and it's a little uncomfortable because we're thinking of the unthinkable, right? A really unfortunate medical circumstance or death of a loved one. But in reality, you want to make sure that your loved ones are set up and they're not really stressing about figuring out what your wishes are, fighting about who knew you best, right? You want to put it all in writing and make sure you're making it easier for your family and making sure you're protecting yourself. So viewers, if you would like to visit woodsoviatt.com or call the number on your screen, you can visit our sponsors at Woods Oviatt Gilman to help you with all of your legal and estate planning needs. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing that valuable information.
Thank you.
Thank you.